You are listening to Chart Your Odyssey with Robert Yurkin and Kristi Hegel on the Podcast Business News Network.
So welcome to the program. So nice to meet you, my man.
Thank you. You too. Thank you. I appreciate having us on.
Yeah, put the face with the voice. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
So I was just giving the general background on you guys, but if I met you on the street and I said, "Hey, Robert, what do you do? What's your business like?" Let me know what you would say to me.
I would tell you that what I do is I help people find the lives that they really want to live. What we do at Odyssey is that people along the way, they have different things that they want out of life, and they just have sometimes difficulty getting it there, navigating there, or figuring out how to get to what they need. And really, what we do is we help people just find the lives that they've dreamed of and get them there.
So Chart Your Odyssey is so popular because it's a different model. Now, can you talk about what you do as compared to what Kristi does?
Sure. Well, I started off originally as a business coach, and what I really, my love has really been life coaching. One of the things that I thought was so important in my life was getting through transitions, and transitions are changes that we make in our lives that and we all have them. We do them so often. So let's say, for example, you're starting off, you're going from high school, you're in college, and now you're graduating. What you're doing is you're transitioning from the elementary education to first of all going into college. You're transitioning through college life, right? And when you're in high school and elementary schools, people are after you to get your work done, right? And then you get to college, and they really don't, they're not going to chase you if you don't do the work.
Right.
So if you don't do it, then you're on your own. So you have to learn some kind of accountability there. So that's the first transition. And then you graduate from college and you go on to your career choice, right? So you're in another transition. Now you're supporting yourself and making a life for yourself. And then there's, relationships, and then you get married and having children and eventually retiring and kids going to college. So throughout our lives, you may do, 15, 20 transitions. Sometimes they're easy. Like in the beginning parts, like, going to college, like there are a lot of people that are able to navigate that. But one of the things we find is, as people do things for a longer duration. So for example, let's say you're retiring. You've been in a career for 25, 30, 40 years sometimes, right? And now all of a sudden, the next day you wake up and that's not there anymore. So you're like, what do I do? How do I transition to a life where I can find some kind of, purpose or some kind of things to do, or just be comfortable with it like that. So a lot of times people are in positions where they have some kind of authority in their business, and they have to realize, well, you're not that person anymore. There's nobody to supervise. It's just you, maybe your family, your wife. So we help them just get around that and get to a point where they can, as we say on our website, release the obstacles of the past, and move forward to the future.
Gotcha.
So I was just saying, and then from that point on, so what happened at this point then is that I got into life coaching. That really is really my passion. And then I found that my clients were needing some other kind of coaching that I really wasn't proficient enough in to feel comfortable, working with them on. And that one of the main areas was health and nutrition coaching. A lot of times, one area will spill over to another area. So for example, if I'm working with somebody in business and we kind of find out, well, a lot of the business issues that they have really relate to what their life is and things they're looking for in their life. And same thing here is that, a lot of things we're working on life coaching, and it became issues that have to do with health and nutrition. So my goal was to try to, get my clients the best coaching that we can offer them. And that's where I kind of went on the search for somebody to do some health and nutrition coaching for me. And I found Kristi Hegel, and she's been my health and nutrition coach now, where we kind of, pass, clients back and forth to each other, depending on where we are in their training process, in the coaching process.
Gotcha. Thanks for the explanation. Now, is most of your clients kind of younger, transitioning from job to job, from college to their first job? How about retirement? Do you take some of the people that maybe transform from the working force to retirement, which I understand can be kind of tough?
Yeah, that honestly, I find really a lot of value in working with people in that kind of coaching. And during that period of your life, what happens is you may be undergoing 2 or 3 transitions at the same time. So aside from leaving your job that you've had for numerous years, it may involve a move. Sometimes people move when they retire. Sometimes it's a matter of like, children going to college, so it's all around the same time. So you really have a lot of transitions going on there. And that is where I find people need the most help, because it's usually transitioning from the place that they've been longest in their life to a new location that's really totally different. Like I said, I know myself. I was in law enforcement for a long part of my life, the majority of my life, and I was a supervisor there. And then, once I retired, all of a sudden I went from one day being a supervisor in a department to the next day where it was just me and my wife. Our kids had gone off to school. We had looked about relocating, so I had to, kind of relearn that it's about me now. It's not about my responsibilities to other people wasn't there anymore. So it became a big transition, because that's really what I did for 30 years in law enforcement security.
Yeah, I can understand. Can you? I love hearing the stories about people that you've helped, you and Kristi. Can you give me a couple examples of people that you worked with? Of course, we don't have to say their names or anything, but just if you give me a couple examples of people that really benefited from Chart Your Odyssey.
Yeah. So, one of the examples, just what we had just talked about, former coworkers I had worked with, and getting into the point where they had to transition. It became almost like an identity that they had, and they really had to, basically reinvent themselves to a new lifestyle. So I worked with somebody on that, and they basically had to, not become the supervisor to their family, which they kind of looked for a substitute for. And it really was like just trying to find something that they enjoy doing. Sometimes things that are habitual, you think that you enjoy when you look back and you think about really all the time and sleep that was lost and everything. So what we did with this person was we transitioned them from that field to something totally different. We talked about what do you really want to do? And it was something that had nothing to do with law enforcement or any kind of following security. It was just doing more of a recreational type of thing, where they always loved a certain sport, and they went on to doing work in that type of thing. It was not a position of authority or supervision. It was just working for themselves every day, where they got up and they enjoyed getting up in the morning because it's something that they love to do. And if you can get to that point where you can love what you're doing for work like that, that's gold.
Yeah, that is awesome, and that's where we all want to get to. But you personally, Robert, you've done so many things in your career, like you were just talking about, but I would say this is probably the most rewarding, because you're getting to see people change right in front of you.
It is, like I said, my whole career started off with helping people. And when I joined the police department, I was young, and your goal was to help people, and you really did. You help people, but a lot of times it was helping them in a way that was getting them out of a negative situation. So, for example, if somebody was in an accident, you're helping them there, or or more serious issues. So a lot of times it was helping them out of negative situations and just getting them through things. And after that, when I went on to coaching and business coaching specifically, it was helping people grow their business. So somebody was starting off with a dream, and it's sometimes it's difficult because you have this whole business. What do I do? How do I start? How do I market? What do I do with this? And it's a lot of stuff that, especially for entrepreneurs that are starting their own business, they really don't have the answers to. So the reward there was, helping them be successful in their business. And but the life coaching is really kind of like the last piece in my puzzle that I'm trying to build, because this is where you're taking people that are in their lives, which really means everything. It's family, it's relationships, it's just sometimes their golden years and where they want to wind up. And if we can work toward getting them to the place they want to live, one of the questions we talk about is, like, for example, is the magic question is, if you can close your eyes and wake up tomorrow and you're in your perfect life, what does it look like? And that's kind of how we start a lot of the conversations. We build from there. They tell us what their life is, and then we work on how to get them to what that life is, what that dream life is.
That's awesome. Well, I got a surprise for you, and I got a surprise for the audience. It is the other half of Chart Your Odyssey. It is Miss Kristi Hegel. Miss Kristi Hegel is here. I always mess up her name, but I was Kristi. Hey, buddy. How are you? Oh, I can't hear Kristi.
Oh, there she goes.
Can I hear you, Miss Kristi?
Hey.
There you are. Hey, all right. So it's the other half of Chart Your Odyssey.
Hey, yeah, that's me.
So me and Robert were talking, and he was telling us a story. He was telling us about what you guys do and what you bring to the team. Can you tell the listeners what does Kristi bring to this? By the way, one of the most popular shows here on the network. So that's a feather in both your caps.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm the health and nutrition coach. So I take the people who either want to lose weight, gain weight, learn how to live a healthier lifestyle, and I work with them to reach their goals or reach their just lifestyle changes and gain them more confidence.
I got you. Yeah, and I understand that you just had a new client that you were working with right now.
Yep, we do. We're super excited about it too.
Awesome. So most of the people, would you say they start with you, or then they go to Robert, or they go to Robert and then go to you? Like, what are people? What's their first direct line into Chart Your Odyssey? Is it through Robert or you? Mostly.
So most of the time when people look for a health coach, they know exactly what they're looking for right away and they'll come to me. But on Robert's end, if they're going through life coaching and they're going through transition coaching and certain changes that Robert sees, okay, well, you're sitting down a lot because you're sad about your breakup and now you're getting upset because you're gaining weight, then he'll kind of like focus it more towards me. So most of my clients know, like, hey, I need you because I want to work out, I want to eat better. But his clients, he kind of like digs into the background of them to find out, hey, maybe Kristi can help too. So I feel like it's easier for me. I don't like to say easier, but I feel like it's easier to me because a lot of people come to me knowing exactly what they need, and Robert has to kind of do a little searching on his end to figure out what they need and see if we tie together. And a lot of cases we do tie together, and some cases he's not needed on my end and I'm not needed in his end. So it really takes communication between the two of us to get our clients where they need to be, and some strategizing and planning so we could see their process to getting better and to getting happier and healthier.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. Guys, if you're just tuning in right now, I'm speaking with Robert Yurkin and Kristi Hegel. They are owners of Odyssey Coaching Systems on this show right here, which is called Chart Your Odyssey. And the website, if you want to go to odysseycoachingsystems.com. Hey, Robert, what are we going to see on odysseycoachingsystems.com? Tell us about the website. I know, Kristi, I know you do all the social media, but as far as the website goes, what are people going to see on there?
Well, what we do on the website is we give a kind of just a general idea, like on the landing page, what we do and what coaching is, kind of a little idea. Then we go into a little bit about ourselves, myself and Kristi, and our histories and what our goals are. We've actually just recently built a page where we're putting all our podcasts with you on there.
Oh, cool.
So we're gonna have that. Yeah, we're gonna have that on there. We'll put Zoom calls on there, work with that, and then it goes just into different services we offer. So really you can kind of go on there, and if you're really not familiar with what coaching is, it will kind of give you a good idea about what the difference is between coaching and what we kind of expect and what a successful coaching session would be. So for example, a lot of our clients started off with like, maybe a self-help book or like an online webinar or something, a seminar where they talk to it. They listen to what the process is and how to get them to where they want to be. And I kind of related to if you've ever gone to a convention and you've seen like a motivational speaker, somebody out there, and what they'll do is they'll talk to the crowd and they'll kind of get them really pumped up, and that's great because what it helps people do is they understand like, hey, this is something I want to do. I want to accomplish this. I want to become this, and I want to build on this. And then they get home and they realize like, okay, I'm all set to go. But what do I do? I know I want to go. I know I want to be this and this like that, but how do I get there? So that's really where coaching comes in because, as we've talked about on many of our podcasts like that, it is a building process. So it could be something where we talk about like the one goal, like I was just talking about the dream life you want to be in and how do you get there? And that can be broken down into maybe, 10, 15 different little goals along the way. It may involve, having you develop a skill. It may involve you getting over something that you're not comfortable with. Like, for example, like, public speaking. Some people want to do things where they want to talk and they just have that fear because they've never done it before. So we work on little mini goals to get them comfortable with speaking like that. So the website will kind of just give you an idea of, how the process will work. And even from there, you can book your discovery call with us where, we'll talk to you the first time and, even have a one-on-one, at no cost, just so you can ask questions that you have about if coaching is a good fit for you.
Wow, that's great. Hey, Kristi, what's it like taking over the social media aspect of Chart Your Odyssey?
It's fun. We make posts every day about either motivation, starting a new business, graduating college, graduating high school, empty nest syndrome. We just make posts every scenario that you could think of where we can help you. And it's nice because I get a lot of feedback on there. I get a lot of messages. I get a lot of comments of, oh, I want to hear more. And I'm always there to answer questions. I get messages and I'm on my phone right now. So I see them right away and I'm able to answer and talk to people who want to be clients, but they're unsure about it. So I get to just ease them into it a little bit before they make a decision if they want to work with us or not. And we've been getting a lot of feedback and it's been super nice. And it's just another thing for me to do to show my creative juices, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, and Robert sends some good ideas over too, because he says it all the time. He's like, I don't know how to do Facebook. I don't know how to do Instagram. So it's all you, but here's the idea that I have, and I just make it into a post and I put it out there, and it's been working.
Yeah, obviously it's been working. I mean, it's the success of this team right here has been pretty impressive. Robert, what do you attribute this success of this team and this business? Why are you guys so popular?
I think, once we talk to them, I think what they really get out of it is that they understand that our genuine concern is really just to help them grow. We just really want to be there for them. One of the things that we've always talked about is, that we're just part of a team with them. We're not telling them what to do or showing them the way to do it like that. We're guiding them along the way to help them make their own decisions. So, like I said previously in a previous podcast, I can tell you what works for me. I can tell you what my favorite flavor is like that, but it doesn't mean it's going to be yours. But we walk through the process with the clients and just really ask the questions to help them make their decisions. And I think that, when they see a result and they're like, it's like that aha moment where they're like, oh, I never really thought of that, but yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's what's going on here. And then, them making a little bit of achievement and making, reaching like goal number one, the first mini goal that we set when they reach goal number one, it's like, man, I just can't wait to keep doing this like that. I always get asked questions in the beginning, like, how long will it take? How long will it take for me to get there? And what my answer is, well, I hope that you don't have a finish line that you want to get to like that, because as you grow, you'll always see it. And it's kind of confusing at first, but then when they start getting it, they're like, yeah, this is great. I just want to keep growing. And they find different things to talk about like that. And you can have, like I said, a total transition from somebody who never thought that they'd be doing something that they were to, like, finding happiness and that type of thing.
Gotcha. Hey guys, I know we're almost running out of time here, but let me go. I got a couple instant feedbacks here. I got Alex in Georgia. Sorry, I can't read. I should really get glasses. I know. I heard that a poor diet can influence the way we feel. If I fix my diet, can I fix my depression? I guess that would now see. This is a great example. That would go to Kristi, right?
Right. So that was a diet question. So yeah, you would think it comes to me right away, but Robert helps with the depression side too through his life coaching. So it would be a time for both of us. But yes, fixing your diet. If you eat terrible every single day, you feel slower, you don't sleep as well, your body is just consuming things that it really doesn't need, and it makes you feel sluggish. So fixing your diet can help your sleep, help your energy levels, and clear up your skin. There's so many perks to eating a healthy diet. But mentally too, your body will feel better, so you'll feel better as well. And once you're getting that more sleep, then you'll feel even more better. So it's definitely fixing your diet. It definitely can lead you to a happier lifestyle, so that it can ease the depression a little bit. But sometimes you have to, get deeper into the depression to find out what it is that's really upsetting you. But having a healthier diet can help towards that end result of happiness. But yes, on Robert's end, you would have to go back and see what it is that you're depressed about, see how we could change the lifestyle to make it better. If there's not one specific thing, just see every day what can make you a little happier. And we talked about that last week too, just waking up with a positive state and being thankful for the things you have right then and there, instead of looking at the negatives of your life. You always try to stay positive.
Right, exactly. Robert, so whoever that was, Alex, what about Alex's depression? So that would go to you?
Yeah, it would, because a lot of times, what we want to stress is that, we're not trying. We want you to create the self that you want to be, whether it's mentally or physically. So, for example, like, somebody, they may feel depressed, they may feel kind of down because they feel they're not fitting the image of what people expect them to be, which is totally not the case. I mean, if somebody has a couple of, extra pounds on there, our first goal is not like, we got to get you to lose the weight. It's what they want. If they want to be, if they're comfortable that they want to feel that way and they're happy that way, that's great, because they should be able to be happy within their own lives. But if that becomes something where we can identify and say, we'll talk about it, it's like, somebody might say, well, I just want to be healthier, like, I want to, and then okay, let's talk to Kristi, let's get her involved like that. But if it's something like, saying like, well, somebody doesn't, like me because I have a couple of pounds overweight, that's totally, crazy. That doesn't necessarily go to Kristi at that point. We really determine is if that's something that they want to accomplish or whether it's they're trying to accomplish with somebody else. And, again, that's a whole different conversation. So it really, really depends on what the purpose is of their health question of, whether or not it goes to Kristi or stays with me.
That's great. See, I love that. Thank you for writing in. I'm sorry I didn't get to the rest of you guys, but that gives us a little bit of a taste on what we do, what you guys do at Odyssey Coaching Systems. Guys, go to odysseycoachingsystems.com. Robert, Kristi, pleasure talking to you. Another great show. I will be speaking to you soon. So for Kristi and Robert, my name's Casey, and we will see you soon. Be right back.
Thank you.
Thanks, Casey.
Thank you.
You are listening to Chart Your Odyssey with Robert Yurkin and Kristi Hegel on the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.